Let's fucking go, baby. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Trey's Trades, where we freaking talk fast and slap the ask, baby. How we doing? I'd like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, obviously, so take what I say with a grain of salt. We're going to be giving you guys the daily update here on ticker symbol AMC, obviously. I want to roll over, obviously, a lot of things. We've got a freaking crap ton to talk about in terms of what's rocking around the AMC chart, what's happening, what can we expect, how's the ortex data looking. Let's look at the short volume percentage. I want to look at Stocko Tracker, a general idea of how many total short shares are available, right? And then I want to talk about the technical analysis and the overall psychology of AMC, right? Because FOMO is a term that's been tossed around a lot, and I've been very sparing with it. I have not said FOMO very many times in the last couple of months, and there's a good reason for it. And I want to talk about what that actually means and why I think it's actually going to come into play as it sits right now. So without further ado, baby, let's get into this video. It's going to be kind of fun to see where this is at in the after hours after we're done getting through this preliminary stuff. So we had a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful freaking day. We were up 19.96%, currently up 1.65% in the after hours, and still, even freaking still, look at this. Short interest change. The short interest actually went up today. It went up today, baby. We're up 3.96%. So anybody out there that's telling you this was a short squeeze, this is the short's covered, that's why the price action went up. This is live updates. This is today's changes, live updates. The short interest went up 4%. You have a net change of 5 million more shares that were shorted into the market today, and we're still up 20 freaking percent. So don't buy that FUD. If there's any FUD, I haven't even looked because I just got off work. I'm way too excited. If there's any FUD going around right now saying, this is the squeeze, blah, 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 it's not. This is a technical breakout, and this is why we were talking so heavily about 1450 being a critical level, right? We got that clean break over 1450, and the fact that we held it is exactly why you were seeing this crazy, stupid move. It's a technical breakout. This is not a squeeze, right? So just keep that in the back of your mind. I want to say that first and foremost, utilization absolutely stupid, 99.32%, incredibly high. If you want to, dig into the utilization and the share recall theory that I have, I made a video earlier today. Check that out. It's a pretty decent one, right? Days to cover at 1.39. This has gone down. This is the question I was asked during my live stream. The reason that it went down, the days to cover is short interest divided by an average volume over a given period of time, right? This is the 3-month average volume. So short interest divided by 3-month average volume going up will lower that overall days to cover number, which makes it, hypothetically speaking, easier for shorts to cover positions profitably, right? But as we see here, the majority of shorts got to be pretty deep in the red right now. We are up 20% on the regular day, up 1.1% in the after hours, right? Most short positions that have been established and been holding for a prolonged period of time, extended period of time, are significantly in the red, right? This is where things start getting ugly for the hedge funds and the market makers who are manipulating, corrupting, and committing to fraudulence in the stock. So do not worry about that days to cover. It's still high. Anything over 1 is a significant value. I'm very happy with where we're sitting right now. Shares on loan say about 129 million. This number is going to go up, given the short interest change is 4%, right? You can expect that number tomorrow when I make my nightly update, right, to be higher, without a doubt. Estimated short interest is currently sitting at 80.8 million. Keep in mind this doesn't take into consideration the synthetics, which you can think of as naked shorts, as well as failure to delivers, right? Matt Coors is calling me right now, but I'll call him back. It's all good. So that's something you can take into consideration, right? This isn't the whole picture. This is 85% of the reported short interest data, right? Of all exchanges, about 85%, and reported isn't high, is bolded out. I'm emphasizing that because we know there's fraudulence that's committed, right? There's a lot of FINRA reports that come out saying, hey, this hedge fund, this institution, all got dinged essentially for malpracticing and malreporting of short interest data. So this is just a general idea. It's a trend. It's not the whole picture. Keep that in the back of your mind. Daily short sale volume percentage, right? We are still significantly high for the last 5 days now, 61%, 56%, 57, 61. And the day before that, you saw a total of 49%. It's been astronomically high. It's been over 49% for the last 5 days, over 56% for the last 4 days. And I'm anticipating that today, when this data comes out eventually tomorrow and recover this video, you're going to be looking at a pretty huge daily short sale volume percentage. Where is this coming from? Hypothetically speaking, shorts are covering. It's almost like things don't add up, right? So just keep in the back of your mind, right? Numbers. And if the numbers don't make sense, it's probably for a freaking reason. This is being shorted and the apes are starting to take control of the stock, right? Everything is freaking, it was all lined up for the hedge funds, all lined up for the institutions, all lined up for the market makers. They've got way more data than we do. They've got way more resources than we do. And still, you see the power in numbers. You see why they call us dumb money. You see why the media comes out and tries to scare people away from AMC stock. And it is because of this sole reason the apes together are freaking strong. We can do so much more together than we can do by ourselves, and they are scared of us. Absolutely. AMC is starting to do exactly what we want it to do. Stock tracker, you can see that there are currently 0 available short shares for borrowing. Now, keep in mind, this is probably not the entire picture, but it gives you an overall trend, and it tells us it is another essentially confirmation box we are checking saying, yep, this is being heavily shorted today. And even with the heavy shorting, we are up 20%. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this overall run up now that we've gone over the data and the numbers and why we might have seen this significant run up. So let's just look at the call option spread for May 28th. Currently trading at $16.41, and the May 28th Friday expiration call options. How many are in the money at this point, right? There was 19,000 total call options at $15. And the fact that we're over $15, you know, especially over that break-even price, I would not be surprised if these are starting to get hedged for, right? And hedged for essentially is delta hedging. This is just the market makers that write up these call option contracts hedging against delta. They want to manage that delta level, right? And this actually ends up getting bought from market value. And if it doesn't, those are failure to delivers. If they don't actually end up buying that stock so they can deliver, people exercise, right? Which essentially just racks up synthetics, and at the end of the day is going to help the apes overall. So there's potential, not guaranteed, right? This is just speculation. It's a hypothesis that we did see a mini beginning of a gamma squeeze today. But where the true gamma squeeze is coming into effect, right, is as we get deeper in the money call options, deeper out the money, I should say, deeper out the money call options that start to get run in the money. $10,000 at $21, and you've got $28,000 here at $28. And we've already talked about this before. The June 18th call options are $40. If these run in the money, 147,000 of these call option contracts at $40, those run in the money and get hedged for, man, it's lights out, man. It is done. Freaking Tendy Town, Chicken Church, Kraken Kingdom. We're going to freaking Pluto. It's as simple as that. Now, I want to talk about the overall charts. This is a new, unseen, never seen before level. This is uncharted territory, right? We don't have trends to look at in terms of where this can go right now. But what we can do is give you some different things to talk about, right? This is the bullishness of this. Let's talk about the overall volume. So the volume on the day, we have seen so far about 206 million total, which is almost twice as much as we saw yesterday. This is something we've talked about pretty regularly over the last couple of days. It's the fact that, hey, on green days, the volume is going to be higher because typically people like to buy greed and sell fear, right? But the fact that people are not selling the stock, people are continuing to hold, they're not going to have that volume on the red days. So volume drives volatility. Volatility drives higher price values, especially when you're looking at AMC stock and the majority of people that buy don't sell it. They just continue to hodl on, right? So that's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. Now, I want to look at the 1 month chart and just give you guys an overall picture of what you're looking at and the significance of this breakout, right? So this break over 1450, what this essentially means is the next overall level, right, is this prior squeeze. It's as simple as that. We are looking at unseen before circumstances. This is uncharted waters. This is something that you can't map out in terms of AMC. In January, when I talk about AMC stock and I said, hey, technical analysis doesn't do a whole lot here, right? It's because you can't predict something that doesn't have a trend. There's no trends for a squeeze, right? There's just not. There's no trends in the least bit for a squeeze. So now that we are on untrended water, right? We have no price action outside of this squeeze right here, which is stupid volatile. You can't trend that out. There's no trends about this. I mean, I could try and map out levels of resistance in some sort of fashion, but the closest we can really get is something like this, right? Somewhere around that $17.24 mark and maybe around that $20 mark, right? I mean, the psychological levels of resistance obviously are going to exist, but this is uncharted waters. Simple as that, right? This to me is the beginning. This is the beginning, and I stand by that statement. There's a reason I've said May, June. I would not have given you guys a prediction if I didn't think it was going to come to fruition, right? I had to have a decent amount of confidence to put myself out there and say, hey, there's a pretty decent chance that this happens right now, and I still can't guarantee anything, right? But I stand by the fact that we are sitting in some really beautiful, beautiful waters. Now, I want to prepare you guys for the best case and the worst case scenario. Now, what do I mean by that, right? So I'm going to drop the worst case scenario first, and we're going to talk about the best case scenario after that. Worst case scenario is this. We get some sort of retracement, some sort of pullback tomorrow en route to the ultimate squeeze. Now, what's going to happen? You know, what kind of trend can we even drop? What kind of technical analysis can we do by the off chance that there is some sort of correction, right? So this is a Fibonacci retracement. If you're not familiar, you just draw this up from the base of a run up to the peak of a run up, and it gives you an idea on where a stock can retrace to if it ends up pulling back, right? And we know, historically speaking, that AMC retraces somewhere between 50 and 61.8%, about 90% of the time, right? So simple as it gets, this is 0, 23, 38, 50. You can assume that if this was to correct, it would fall into somewhere in this range between what appears to be about 1491 and 1523. So that's about what the level looks like as I'm looking at it right now. So the worst case scenario is this. You get some sort of retracement, some sort of sell-off, and it pulls back down into that zone. If you're looking to buy more stock for cheaper, right, and the squeeze continues on the path that we have seen here so far, that is going to be the zone to buy it at, right? But this is the best case scenario. Best case scenario is you get some sort of either A, consolidation, or B, trend continuation. And consolidation is not bad, right? If it's just trading sideways back and forth in this little zone between, let's just say, $16 and $17, but it continues to bounce back and forth between that, well, look at this, guys. This was consolidation right here. This is ultimately what set us up to get where we wanted to freaking go, right? Ultimately, and let's just look at the hour charts. This consolidation right here, right? This is ultimately what set us up that get leveled out that base to get us ready for the next leg up. It's okay to consolidate if that's what ends up happening. So I want to prepare you guys for the best case and worst case scenario. And if it consolidates or rips, either one is a win, right? You can't beat that. That's ultimately getting us closer and closer and closer to where we want to end up going. Last thing I want to talk about is FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. This is a term that essentially just means people like to buy greed. And it's not something that I've thrown around a whole lot, right? Like we've seen this, come and go on moves from $12 to $13, from 10 to 12, from 12 to 14. And I didn't throw around FOMO. It's as simple as that. And there's a reason why. So let's think about this psychologically, right? What does it truly mean to be scared of missing out on price action? It means that you want to buy that stock at any price that the stock is trading at because you think it's going to run so freaking violently. Now, let me ask you a simple question, right? Why would people ask the best time to buy a dip? Why would people ask the cheapest price that they can buy it at if they thought that it was going to squeeze that day? Right? They wouldn't. It's as simple as that. The psychology of FOMO is there's no better time than now to buy a stock because we don't want to miss out on the run up. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, right? I had absolutely no FOMO in this trading sideways, period of time. I just didn't because I'll tell you why right now. It's because we've seen that price action before, right? It's charted waters. We've done it. We've been there. We've seen that, right? It's as simple as that. This is uncharted waters. So thinking about this psychologically speaking, this is where FOMO can really, truly set in. People, I mean this when I say it. FOMO is as simple as this. People want to buy a stock at any price because of how much they think this is violently going to run up. And I truly do believe where we're sitting right now, the bullishness of AMC stock, the fact that it's still green in the after hours, even after a 20% green day, this is where you're setting FOMO. Uncharted waters, the highest it's been since literally the squeeze back in January. This is FOMO. This is the uncharted waters. This is the time when people want to buy stock because they don't know how high it's going to go and they don't want to miss out on an opportunity to make stupid money. So this is an opportunity, my friends. I truly mean it when I say this is where FOMO sets in. It's as simple as that. If you are sitting on the sidelines, you've never seen AMC stock, and you've been bashing AMC stock, it's even going to be the freaking Cobas out there. I guarantee it. There's Cobas out there who've been trashing AMC stock for who knows how long. They're going to be looking at AMC stock in the next couple of days, the next week or next 2 weeks, whatever it is, right? Who are going to want to buy into this. That's the FOMO. That's the FOMO I'm looking for, and we are set up for it. And I absolutely 100% mean that. Guys, last thing I want to say before we close out this video is pat yourselves on the freaking back. If you got a pair of freaking diamond nards or diamond ovaries that have been hodling on for this last 5 months, I'll tell you what, that 1 cent price target, all the FUD, all the media BS, all that sort of garbage that's been coming out and trying to scare people away from what we knew was factual, it didn't matter. You held on. You did it. It's freaking awesome. I'm proud of everybody, and that's what I've got for the video today. So, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how to like the video. Consider subscribing, whatever you want to freaking do. Catch you all in the next one, my friends, my family, my fellow freaking Gorilla Gang. Much love and peace.